right, welcome in. It's episode 11 of Reimer on the Road. Ann and Scott, thanks for joining in. As we always thank you for joining in. We're over 5,000 views now on this, which it's kind of hard to believe, but we appreciate you being a part of this journey. It's a year-long journey. We hope you will continue to give us feedback as we go through, because it's been very helpful. And we had a great time in the Burlington, Vermont area. But as we always do, before we get to episode 11, we always like to tell people where we're headed, because they can give us feedback on what to do in that new place. And that new place is
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, which neither of us have ever been to. So we're excited about that. And I'm sure there's a lot of touristy stuff.
Yes.
That people are going to suggest. So we want you to do that and give us that feedback. But there's probably also some things that are not so touristy that we might can get some feedback on in that general area, because we're going to be there for 5 nights.
Right. That's what we're hoping for. So give us the feedback. Tell us what to do, where to go, what to eat. Are there some state parks or some little local parks that we should be going to, not just the Niagara Falls State Park?
Yep.
And the Canadian side as well.
Yep. We're going to do both sides. We'll cross over into Canada. But we will be staying on the American side. We'll tell that story in episode 13, I guess it will be, as we go through. It's Reimer on the Road on Instagram.
Yes.
Tell people about that. You post things before the videos come out on YouTube.
I do. I try to do, every couple days I'll post something. So it's not an extreme. You're not going to get something daily. But it does show where we are currently before the videos come out.
Yep. It's very cool. I enjoy looking at the post as well. So, Burlington, Vermont, on Lake Champlain. It was episode 11. Here we go. Okay, first of all, we've had to put the shades down because somebody has turned on the heat. We've arrived in Burlington, Vermont, actually South Hero.
Yep.
And it's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. Because we left, we were in the 60s in Maine. And then we did a little stopover in western Maine, and we had some storms come through. So it was still reasonably, it was maybe in the 70s. And then we've hit here, and they're having a heat wave, and it's in the high 80s.
Yeah, I think it's in the 90s. First of all, that's the air conditioning you hear up there. And then, let's see, it's still sitting at 79. And we've been here for an hour or so. So it's better back in the bedroom. But it is hot. But we're excited to be in Burlington, Vermont. And we're going to cook some dinner tonight. Yep. Before we talk about where we're going, I think one of the stories of this trip from Acadia National Park to Burlington, Vermont was the drive. Mm-hmm. Holy cow. Beautiful. Yeah, we were on Highway 2 most of the time. Yeah. We got on a couple interstates periodically. But the drive, it was easy for an RV. It had large shoulders. But you
2 lanes most of the way. It was, like you said, larger shoulders.
Yep. I think a great drive, whether you're pulling an RV or just driving. It was a highlight of this area.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We went through the White Mountains and
National Forest, White Mountains National Forest.
And it was beautiful. And just the scenery, the mountains, the farms we passed. Just it was all beautiful. Okay, so we're going to restock here. We're going to go out and do a little market shopping because we're right on Lake Champlain, which we'll have plenty of that, I'm sure, as we go through the week. But we're going to go get some produce from Allen Home Farm. Correct.
right?
Which I found on the campground's website. They have or an app they have, and that was one of the places they recommended, and it's right around the corner. And it's supposedly the oldest apple orchard, commercial apple orchard in Vermont.
All right.
I think 1870.
Yep.
But it also has, fresh vegetables, pies, breads, I think, according to their website. So we were going to go stock up on some fresh vegetables and fruits.
All right, we're going to go do that. We'll get some video of that. And then when we get back, we're hoping that 79 is about 75. This is not, and I repeat, not what we thought it was going to be. Actually, what we thought it was going to be was what it was. It just didn't have any vegetables.
Right.
It had ice cream. So we had to pivot. Liquor store, I mean, what could go wrong, right? What? They got it. The whole purpose was to get this at a gas station. Gas station / liquor store. Can't beat it. Well, it's still 79 degrees, which is tolerable. But we did get vodka. And we did get some corn, but that was not exactly what we were trying to do. But that's how it goes sometimes. Just finished up a boat tour on Lake Champlain. It was based out of Burlington, Vermont. 90-minute tour, relatively inexpensive, I thought, for a boat tour. They had food and drink on there. The food was boat food. I mean, it was enough to kind of help you along the trip, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But the drinks were great. A little bit of narration as well, but the views were just outstanding. And what I loved about it was that it was relatively easy to get to. We didn't have any trouble parking the beast. We got it down there, and it was $10 maybe total to park for the entire time. So that was pretty easy. But what I liked most about it is that we were in the shade. It was a hot day here in Burlington. The boat had plenty of wind flow through it, and we were in the shade for the most time. So I give that tour a 2 thumbs up. It was really a lot of fun, and you got to see not only Burlington from the water, but some of the islands around the area and some of the stories about this great port town here in Vermont. Okay, after over 3,000 miles, the beast is dirty. And he needs a bath, a big-time bath. And especially considering the fact that we're now away from the saltwater area of New England. We've now moved inland and westward, and we won't be back near saltwater until we get to the Pacific Northwest in several months. So I've been giving the truck a once over, some scrub downs, some hose downs, and those types of things as we've been camping along the way. But since we've now left the saltwater area, it's time to get the salt and grime and everything off of the beast and get him as clean as possible, knowing that with the dog and all the travel we're doing, it's not going to stay perfectly clean, and that's fine, but I just would feel better getting a lot of the salt off. So heading into Burlington and going to do a big bath for the beast. That's Fort McGomery over there. Just on the other side of there is Canada. And Fort McGomery was here to protect the United States from whoever was owning Canada, either the British or the French and all that good stuff. Over here on this side is Vermont. And then over here is New York. So we're kind of at the top of the United States. Along the Hero Peninsula. I don't think that's what they call it, but it's South Hero and North Hero. But it is beautiful on this drive through here to get up here to the Canadian border. We are not going into Canada today. Don't know that we're going to go into Canada.
Not on this stuff.
Trip to Burlington. It's complete. We've got a visit to the world's largest, tallest filing cabinet. You heard that right. Filing cabinet. There's a local market somewhere, and Reimer's gonna find it. That's exactly what happened. Vermont Market. Okay, final day in Burlington, Vermont. Actually, South Hero is technically where we are right here on Lake Champlain. And a fun day. We left the area and went up in to the Green Mountains. Started with Ben & Jerry's, the original, I guess, museum slash creamery slash whatever. Now, we didn't do the tour and do all of that. But we did go through their graveyard, as they call it. These are
Flavor
graveyard. Flavor graveyard. These are flavors that didn't make it or that they retired, and it's kind of cute. They have little tombstones on it, and they talk about why it didn't work or why they think it shouldn't have worked, or should have worked, or shouldn't have worked, or whatever the case may be. So it's an easy stop. It's right off the road. It took us no time. It had restrooms. If you want to go do the tour, and you're a big Ben & Jerry's fan and all that kind of stuff, they have a gift shop and a tour. That would be really cool. Well, you can't come to Vermont and not go to Ben & Jerry's. So that's where we are. Of course, I guess, maybe those cows are part of the ice cream making process here at Ben & Jerry's. I don't know. Then we stopped at Cold Hollow Cider store. Actually, Ann went in. I kind of hung out with Leo on the porch. All right, what was that again now? What did you get?
I got some apple cider jelly.
Okay.
I got Leo a dog treat.
Uh-huh.
I got 6 apple cider donuts.
Oh yeah, we need those.
Yep. And then I got a combo of some pancake mix with some syrup.
Maple?
Yeah.
Vermont maple? No. We need a pancake mix.
Yep.
All right, we're not gonna go hungry. Yeah, just trying to stock up on some of the local flavor, you know, of Vermont in this area. Then we headed into the town of Stow, not the mountain ski resort. We went to that afterwards, but the actual town of Stow. Cute little town, very small. We just parked and kind of walked up and down the street. It wasn't a destination for us. It was just a quick stop to check out before we went up to the main attraction, and that, of course, is Stowe Mountain Village. And during the summer, you can take the gondola ride up to the top of the mountain area there where they're typically skiing from. And it has some great overviews. It was a little pricey to get up there, but the hike would be, woo, the money to ride the gondola up there outweighs the hike. That thing was straight up. But I thought the views were great up there, and it was a cooler atmosphere up there, and it wasn't very crowded, so I really enjoyed the gondola ride.
Yeah, no, it was good. And they have a restaurant up top if anybody's interested in that, and restrooms, which we did not partake in the restaurant. got skipped over. We did eat at the Vontrop Beer House, brewery and beer house, and that is the Vontrops from The Sound of Music. It was
The Hills Are Alive.
Yes, The Hills Are Alive, and so we had a really good Austrian-inspired lunch there.
Okay, we're here at the Vontrop Lodge near Stowe, Vermont. Of course, the Vontrops, yes, the same ones from The Sound of Music. They came over to the United States after the war, settled here in Vermont, and this was their lodge. It burned down. They rebuilt this, and now it's an inn and lodge, and you can kind of see why they settled in Vermont, because their view, while not quite as spectacular as Austria, certainly reminds you of the view they had in their former country. Very cool. Hey, you were telling me that this resort in this area is a world-class skiing, cross-country skiing resort, right?
Cross-country skiing. It was the first, if I read it right, it was the first resort for cross-country skiing in the United States.
Very cool. So they have some signs for that as we've kind of walked around, and that's pretty cool. We were just down below this ridgeline here at the brewery and restaurant a little while ago. So very cool. There you go. Vontrop Resort, just near Stowe, Vermont. Okay.
All right. So here we are at Allen Home Farm. And they are known for their maple creamies. Really, I think they're just called creamies. Vermont seems to be known for creamies. I kept seeing them, so being our last day, we needed to try it. So creamy is basically, it's a vanilla soft serve where they put pure maple syrup in it and then mix it. And then this is pure maple, like dehydrated crunchies that they put on it. I mean, I can't not like that.
All right, well, give it a taste.
But if you smell it, it smells like maple. It smells really good.
Good?
That's pretty good.
Let me have one.
Okay. And the crunchy to it is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, syrupy taste.
Very refreshing.
Yeah, good.
Dinner.
You happy? Dinner. All right, dinner is served. Okay, there you go. Burlington, Vermont, on the shores of Lake Champlain. Absolutely beautiful area of the country. I'll get to my points about that, but I'm going to defer to you first. Your thoughts on what really stood out about your time in this area.
Well, I really enjoyed our drive. Actually, not in Burlington. I mean, I did enjoy our drives through Burlington, but I think my highlight was when we drove up to Stowe, Vermont for the day, and just sort of our stops on the way. We stopped at Ben & Jerry's. We stopped at a little apple store that had, country store. We got some apple donuts, got to do some shopping, and then Stowe, just the cute little town of Stowe. Then we ended up in the Vontrop family brewery. So really enjoyed that. It was really good food. Kind of reminded me of when we went to Germany and Austria. So that kind of brought back some memories. And then just the scenery up there. one of my highlights.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with any of what you just said. I think what defined my experience in this area was Lake Champlain. It's kind of the centerpiece of the town of Burlington, obviously, but also in the excursions you do. We were on the Hero Peninsula. I don't think they really call it that, but we were in South Hero on a peninsula. And then when you were talking about going up to the Vontrop piece, all of that's kind of centered around Lake Champlain. You've got the Green Mountains in Vermont, which is where the Vontrop piece was, in Stowe. But then on the other side of the lake was Adirondacks of New York, and then you're right at Canada. And so Lake Champlain is kind of the centerpiece of it all, and it really does provide, I think, some really great views. I think, and this isn't a criticism, because we have to be very careful to criticize, because we're only in places for 5 nights. And we struggled a little bit in finding some food in downtown Burlington. Now, what we ended up doing was an Irish pub, and it was excellent. I mean,
it was really good.
You know, high reviews, but from us. But it's not a very foodie town. I mean, it didn't have a lot of options, and a lot of the reviews weren't great.
Right.
Where we settled on was great, but we always try to eat at least one time in the city we're staying in. It was a little bit more of a struggle finding a place in Burlington.
Yeah, I had done some research and found some places, but just nothing was really standing out to me. And so that's why we just decided to walk down their little main corridor, pedestrian corridor, which Greenville, South Carolina needs to take note of.
Yes, they do.
Where they shut down Main Street so that you can walk down it and not have cars that are like a parking lot.
Our campground, we have not yet, or I have not yet, had a moment where I've regretted a campground.
Yeah.
But on this one, I regretted the spot. We had a great spot. It was huge, actually. It was way more room than we needed it. But for a couple of more dollars a night, we could have had a view of Lake Champlain. We missed on that one. We swung and missed, I think.
We only did the silver level. We should have gone platinum. Yeah.
And, you know, again, that's the hard part about booking things. You don't really know. When they say lake view, what does that mean? It's like a little sliver through a tree or something.
Right.
No, these were really good nice. Lake views. Yeah. So if we went back,
got to see on our walks. We would take walks around the RV resort, and it was a resort. It was a really nice place, Apple Island Resort. Beautiful, and they had a nice little overlook, which you saw. It had the Adirondack.
You struggle. I
don't know why. I can't get it out. Adirondack chairs laid out for us, and so it was beautiful to walk up to those and have a seat and just enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, and the people were great too. They were very nice. It's got a little par 3 golf course. Yeah. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We should have gone to a higher level and had the view of Lake Champlain.
Scott about that.
You know, this is 40 days in, and this is the first campground where the actual inside the campground, I regret picking a spot from which we could have had that we didn't get. So
he made up for it this time. You can see the water in the background of our current spot, which has been really lovely. Yep.
All right, so that's episode 11 in the books. We're headed to Niagara Falls in New York. We continue our westward pull. Again, Rhymer on the Road on Instagram. Give us some feedback on what to do in the comments here on YouTube. Continue to like and subscribe so that you can follow us along on this epic year-long journey. It's Rhymer on the Road. We're having a great time. We look forward to Niagara Falls. And don't forget, everybody, it's Rhymer on the Road. Do it today.
Finest around. In fact, several United States presidents stayed there.